Hey everyone and welcome back. So today we're going to go through this little concealer drawer right here. This is the basket of all my concealers. Oh my gosh, can it even fit in the screen here? There are so many concealers that I keep in my makeup stash back there. I try concealers all the time. Pretty much anytime a new concealer comes out that looks interesting, that has some hype around it, I test it out. Concealers are always one of my favorite things to test out. I'm always looking for that like perfect miracle eye concealer that's just gonna make your under eyes look completely flawless. So I pulled out my entire concealer collection and kind of went through them all and decided what my absolute favorites were. These are the ones that I pull out and use all the time on a constant basis that really work for more mature skin eyes. And then I decided which ones were my absolute least favorites, just ones that I would not recommend, ones that I do not enjoy, and just I never reach for them. Now, I am 37 years old. I am not 20 years old anymore. I am definitely starting to see the signs of aging around my eyes. I have more dry under eyes than I used to. And you know, we all have those little lines around our eyes. So I am so insanely picky with concealers. I mean, I will tear them apart over the tiniest little things. I'm just so super picky because that's the one area of makeup that can really make you look a lot older than you really are if you're using the wrong concealer. So when I put a concealer to the test, I am super thorough on so many points of whether I like them, whether it sinks into lines and wrinkles, whether it makes my under eyes look dry, whether it cakes up. I mean, I put them to the test. So I'm gonna let you guys know which ones are my absolute favorites and which ones I would not recommend if you are over the age of 20 and you are starting to see a little bit of that aging around the eye area. So let's just get started. So I'm gonna start with the ones that I do not like first. These are the worst concealers for more mature skin. You do not want these. So the first one right here is the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. I don't even know why I bought this. I absolutely hated the Born This Way foundation, but I decided to try the concealer and it stinks. Like, it absolutely is horrible. It is just so drying under the under eyes. It leaves the worst creases and looks so bad. Like I said, I would definitely not recommend this one to anyone who is a little bit more mature. Absolutely a horrible concealer. I hated this one. Next, we have the Kat Von D Lock It Concealer. I was sent this because I would never have bought this to try myself. I'm not a big fan of the Kat Von D foundations, so this concealer is kind of the same thing I'm feeling. It was very thick, very cakey and heavy under the eyes, definitely sunk into lines and wrinkles on me, and it was just heavy, like heavy under the eyes. I like something light but covers, and just this was the exact opposite. I mean, it covered, but it was thick and heavy and just gross. I do not like that. Same with this one right here. This one is raved about all over YouTube, and I always try and stay away from the hype with concealers because they always just turn out to be horrible on me. It's exactly what happened. I got sucked into the hype with this one, the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. I'm sure you guys have heard everybody talk about this. I do not like it whatsoever. I absolutely cannot stand it. I never reach for it. It just is, again, cakey and just creases under my eyes. It is drying under the eyes, and I don't like anything about this. I don't think it's good if you have more mature skin. I mean, all the 20-year-olds that are raving about this concealer on YouTube, yes, I'm sure they probably absolutely love it because their under eyes are like hydrated and like perfect yet. But for me, it just did not work out in the slightest. Now, these are two that are super, super expensive. The Clé de Peau concealer and the new La Mer concealer. They're both in the stick form that looks like this. And God, they are super expensive. They're definitely around $100, over $100 each. And I wouldn't recommend them. I just really don't pull them out very often at all. They are just thick under the eyes again. I mean, always the stick concealers are always going to be a little bit more thick under the eyes, and some people really like that because they do give more coverage, which these do. These do have that really good coverage, I will say. But you have to not have dry under eyes to make these work because these just become super drying on me. They start creasing and caking up honestly within like an hour of me wearing these. So I just never pull them out. I would say that these two concealers would be more of like a date night concealer when you just want that like flawless under eye, but you're not out very long and you don't need your concealer to look perfect all day. These are more of like a short-term concealer. I just truly think for the money, there are way better options out there for concealers, and I just never ever reach for these as well. Okay, so let's talk about the concealers that are my absolute favorites now. These are ones that I reach for all the time that I think are so perfect for a little bit more mature skin. They don't crease, they don't cake up, they're not heavy under the eye, but yet they still just keep your under eye looking flawless, and it can actually make you look a little bit younger because it just makes your under eye look bright and awake and not Just gross. All right, I'm gonna start in no particular order here whatsoever. This is the new Nars concealer, the new Nars Soft Matte Complete Concealer. So I really, really like this concealer. I think it is really nice. The coverage is absolutely amazing. It's a really good high coverage concealer. The one drawback I will say is that this can be a little bit drying on me. I have to apply some facial oil around my under eyes to really make this look flawless. But once I do, this holds up really beautifully all day on my skin with that really nice coverage. I just have to make sure when I'm using this one to just dab a little bit of that facial oil around my under eye just to give it a little bit of extra hydration, because this is more of a matte concealer. So it can look a little drying if you are not super careful with the hydration around your eyes. But this one is still really good. Just take that little extra step, but this looks amazing. All right, I'm gonna mention both of these together because they're both by IT Cosmetics. They're the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye, the Illumination, and the IT Cosmetics CC Plus. This is the SPF 50. So I absolutely love both of these. I wear these all the time. I wear the CC Plus Eye with the SPF 50 all the time in the summer when I'm out by the pool with my kids or literally just outside anywhere in the summer. I seriously pull this one out and I wear this constantly just to give my under eyes just that extra protection because it has a broad spectrum of an SPF 50 in it. So it's just blocking those rays around my eyes even more. I absolutely love this concealer. It's lightweight, it's creamy, it's hydrating. It doesn't cake, it doesn't budge or move around all day. It's seriously an awesome, awesome concealer. I really love this one. I like this one better than the IT Cosmetics Illumination, but I still do pull this one out quite often. The Illumination one is still very high coverage, very hydrating to the skin. It kind of gives that light illumination so your under eye does not look dry whatsoever, which I personally love. You just need a little bit. You just take a little tiny dab and dab this around your eyes. It's such a full coverage concealer that you don't need to go overboard with it whatsoever. Just a little bit goes a long way. But if you have the dry under eyes, this does not make your under eyes look dry. It looks hydrated and plump, and I love both of these. Okay, we're gonna talk a little drugstore here because I pull this out. In fact, this is what I'm wearing on my under eyes right now. I pull this out a lot still. It's the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer. It's the one that has the little sponge. I love this concealer. I think this is one of the best concealers out there, and it's a drugstore price. It's absolutely amazing. It's hydrating, it's got full coverage, it doesn't cake, it doesn't crease, it stays put all day long. I pull this out a lot, and like I said, that's what I'm wearing right now, and it's absolutely an amazing concealer. Amazing price. You just cannot go wrong with this. I have it in a bunch of the different shade options. This one is in the shade medium. I have it in light. I thought I put the light on today. I guess I put medium on today, but I have it in the neutralizer shade. There's like a neutralizer shade. There's also like a pink tone brightening shade. I have them all. They're honestly amazing. Okay, this one is one that you've heard me talk about so much recently. It's the Sicily Eye Concealer. So good. I wear this one constantly. This one has a great full coverage to it, but it's hydrating and just brightening under the eye. This is in the shade number 1. There's about 4 different shade options, I believe, but it's more of a peach tone, this number 1, and it just brightens my under eye at the same time, and it just looks flawless all day. I can put this on in the morning and then go throughout my entire day, through the nighttime even, and go out and then come home like super late and wash my face, and my concealer still looks absolutely flawless, which is so unheard of for me with concealer. This concealer also has good for your under eye ingredients, so it is more expensive, but you're also paying for the under eye treatment as well, because there's a lot of ingredients in here that are gonna actually benefit the under eye area and are anti-aging and all that stuff. So it's just better for your under eye than like putting chemicals and all that crap under your eye. So I love this one. I have done complete demonstrations and reviews on this, and it's just seriously an amazing concealer. If you have more mature skin, you will absolutely love this. All right, we're gonna talk about this one right here because this is still one of my absolute favorites after, oh my gosh, years and years of using this and talking about this. It's the by Tarte Terribly Denseless Concealer. I still pull this one out all the time. I would say this Sicily one and the by Tarte get used the most. I will pull out the Sicily if I want a little bit of extra coverage to my under eyes, because this does have more coverage than the by Tarte. But on a daily basis, I pull out the by Tarte Denseless all the time. It is more lightweight and hydrating under the eye. It's a little bit more liquidy. The Sicily one is a little bit more creamy. So this one is more liquid, but it still gives, I'd say, like a medium coverage, and it's just so amazing under the eye. It is hydrating. It never creases, never cakes, keeps my under eye looking flawless the entire day. I just cannot find much that even would beat this concealer. It's that good. This also has a lot of ingredients in it that are beneficial for your under eyes as well, so it's a good for your under eye concealer. It's called the Anti-Wrinkle Dark Circle Eye Bag Serum Corrector because it does help the under eye at the same time as concealing any, you know, imperfections. Now, what I've been doing actually, because like I said, this one is not a complete full coverage concealer, so what I've been doing on the days that I've been using this, I pull this out, which I completely forgot I had. It's the Giorgio Armani Corrector in the shade number 1, and it's a peach tone corrector, and I'll show you on my hand kind of what it looks like. It just looks like that. It's just a pure corrector. So you would put this on before your actual concealer. And what I've been doing is I've been taking this and I've been just going around the darker areas of my under eye. So kind of like right in the corner, and then I have like this bluish, like annoying vein that goes under my eyes that's super close to the surface, so you can see it pretty well. So with the By Terry, since it's not complete full coverage, or any concealer that you want that's not complete full coverage yet you love that concealer so much, just use something like this, and I've been absolutely loving this just to go over the dark areas, and I take it over that little vein. I dab this on around those areas and then let it dry and then put on my actual concealer, and it's flawless. You got your full coverage concealer then with a concealer that you absolutely love. So this is just a good little product to have on hand if you're looking to just give your eyes a little bit more extra coverage, but you want to use a lighter weight or lighter type of concealer, if that makes sense. But this Giorgio Armani in the number 1 is so good. I've been loving that. All right, guys, that's it for my little concealer roundup here. I hope you enjoyed all the worst ones and all my favorites. If you have any questions, let me know down below in the comments. Also in the comments, let me know what some of your favorites are. I mean, if you have more mature skin and you have an absolute must-have concealer, let me know about it because I'm game to try any of them. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.